Bad art gives you what you think you want, and good art gives you what you didn't know you needed. My first exposure to Virtua Fighter as a franchise was seeing this render of Akira Yuki's face when I was a teenager. It's sorta creepy. It's the eyes, the way they're lit and how they're perfectly spherical and seemingly too large for their sockets. This render made me dismiss Virtua Fighter completely. What kind of game approaches its art this way? Virtua Fighter remained the weird, cheap-looking fighting game franchise in my mind for almost a decade until I gave it an honest try. I played Virtua Fighter 3 TB, and I liked it. Then I played Virtua Fighter 4 Final Tuned, and I loved it. And then I played Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown. In a genre where stylish characters, long combos, hype-inducing cinematics, and rich stories are established conventions, Virtua Fighter has plain characters, very short combos, and ostensibly no cinematics or story to speak of. However, VF manages to make its characters endearing by the sincerity of their presentation. The game's combos are involved and fun, and what VF lacks in story it makes up for in mechanical depth. VF places its focus almost entirely on its systems. Everything else is extraneous. And after engaging with its systems, I think Virtua Fighter 5 Final Showdown is the best fighting game I've ever played. Conceptually, a fighting game is like the game of rock, paper, scissors. In each game, the relationship between plays is non-transitive, meaning they do not form a linear hierarchy. Paper beats rock, rock beats scissors, and scissors beat paper. Paper does not beat rock and scissors. In a fighting game, it is the combination of character-specific mechanics and universal mechanics that forms the game's non-transitive interplay. The most fundamental non-transitive interaction in VF5 is as follows. Strikes beat throws, throws beat guard, and guard beats strikes. All other interactions in VF5 are defined by this one. For example, sidestepping is even more effective against strikes than guard, as it functions like a parry, nullifying oncoming damage and giving the player advantage. But it loses to throws just as guard does, additionally even losing to strikes that travel in a circle. Crouch dashing evades high strikes and most throws in the process of positioning the player, but loses to all other strikes besides highs. Strikes which remove guard, ostensibly the game's unblockables, cannot be escaped like throws can be, and can lead to potentially greater damage than throws. However, these strikes fail if the opponent sidesteps or simply doesn't block the attack. Deviations from the fundamental strike-throw-guard interplay are generally more executionally difficult and carry greater risk, but are more rewarding to perform successfully. This is how Virtua Fighter rewards player skill. Not by giving players the best tools as long as their execution is on point, but instead recognizing how a player demonstrates their aptitude, and giving them specialized tools once they've demonstrated the ability and the understanding of how to use them. All while the tools with the broadest use cases, and which are available to everyone at the most basic level, continue to function at a high level. Admittedly, the character Wolf Hawkfield is a minor exception to this rule, as his giant swing has a frame-perfect variant which deals substantially greater damage. This exception, though, makes for a good point of comparison with my favorite character of Virtua Fighter 5, Akira Yuki. In my opinion, Akira is Virtua Fighter 5 in microcosm. We can see the intentionality of Akira's design by examining two of his moves which have overlapping inputs, Zanshu and Teishutsu Dantai. Both attacks are performed by pressing the kick and guard buttons together, but Teishutsu Dantai in particular is performed by pressing the buttons on the exact same frame, and then releasing the guard button exactly one frame later. Unlike Wolf's giant swing, where performing the move with a perfect input produces a strictly superior version of the move, Akira's Zanshu and Teishutsu Dantai are functionally completely different moves. Compared to Zanshu, Teishutsu Dantai deals greater damage on hit and is slower to start up and to recover. Zanshu can be followed up by pressing or holding the punch button, but Teishutsu Dantai has no inherent follow-up because it primarily launches the opponent into the air for freeform combos. Even among Akira's launching attacks, Teishutsu Dantai is not uniformly his best. Yoho is performed by inputting down forward, then down forward and the punch button together. Both Yoho and Teishitsu Dantai are mid-hitting launchers with no inherent follow-up. Their major differences are that Yoho deals greater damage and launches the opponent higher on hit, and Teishitsu Dantai starts up one frame faster and places the opponent in block stun for slightly longer. These differences make Yoho the better move to start a combo with, because of its increased damage and its launch height allowing for more moves to connect before the combo ends. These differences also make it possible for Teishitsu Dantai to punish moves that Yoho is too slow to punish. Viewing Akira's Teishitsu Dantai with the context of Virtua Fighter 5 as a whole, knowing that Wolf's perfect giant swing is also present in the same game, we can think about a certain design decision. Teishitsu Dantai could just as easily have been a frame-perfect superior variant of an almost functionally identical move, but a conscious decision was made not to design Akira in this way. And that is why I think of Akira as VF5 in Microcosm. His design is most emblematic of the game's approach to rewarding player skill. What other cool stuff does Akira have? Akira is considered one of the more difficult characters to play in VF5, although not due to his complexity. Akira's move list is the shortest in the game at about 130 commands, far fewer than the game's average of about 175 per character. His move list is too short to allow room for gimmicks, but despite this, he has a little bit of everything VF5 has to offer. Moves like Shoda Chochu and Byaku Shoshoda are performed from a full crouch, which is slow to enter, but crouch dashing is instant, meaning it can be leveraged to give Akira access to these moves extremely quickly in both offensive and defensive scenarios. Among the various throws available to him, some deal reduced damage up front in exchange for greater damage potential than typical throws, such as Yoshi Senrin, which allows for a follow-up combo, or Shiniha, which transitions into a forced 50-50. Kaiko is a strike which removes high guard and allows for follow-up combos. Toryu Tenshin Hazankai is also a strike which removes high guard, and though it is slower than Kaiko and does not allow for combos, it deals significant flat damage to all characters regardless of weight class. Tetsuzanko is the coolest move in Virtua Fighter. Its damage is affected by many factors such as proximity to the opponent, the angle at which Akira is standing relative to the opponent, whether the opponent is performing an attack when struck, etc. Depending on the condition, Tetsuzanko can look like this, or like this. Akira also has reversals for almost every type of move in the game, meaning with a hard read and precise timing, he can do this. This is far from being an exhaustive list of what I think makes Akira interesting as a fighting game character, but I love him, and I love Virtua Fighter 5. After playing the game for as long as I have, and seeing that portrait of his in the character select menu, well, it never stopped being creepy to me, but I understand why it was the way that it was. That's the intense stare of a serious warrior. He's a scary character, he's an impenetrable wall, and his portrait reflects that. Virtua Fighter 5 Ultimate Showdown was released in 2021, some 11 years after Final Showdown initially released. They redesigned Akira, and he's no longer got his creepy portrait, and I kinda miss it. He's still menacing, but he's not the same. His old portrait was Virtua Fighter to me. A face you loved when you understood.